There are some who are prophets, who are teachers, but can bring out something that is not the truth. Adeɛ bi a ɛnyɛ nokorɛ, but ɔmbɛtumi ayɛ ama yɛ agye di sɛ adeɛ no ɛyɛ nokorɛ. Then we also look at number 3. Ɛno koraa na ɛyɛ me nwanwa kɛse. Yɛfrɛ no self-deception. Wo ankasa wobɛtumi adaadaa wo ho. Wo ankasa wobɛtumi adaadaa wo ho. Sometimes our mind tells us a lot of things. When we say, ebia obi wɔ hɔ a wonhyɛ da ne ne nhyia anaa wonhyɛ da ne ne ninsawosoɔ, but wohwɛ n'anim koraa kɛkɛ no wadwen ntimi ka kyerɛw sɛ akoa wei ɔnyɛ nipa papa. Nanso so later on wobɛn wo nipa korɔ no a afei wahu sɛ sɛnea wadwen yɛɛ wo no ɛnyɛ saa na nipa korɔ no ɛteɛ. So it tells you say your mind has deceived you. So self-deception wo nso so no wanhwɛ wo ho yie a ɛnaadaa bɛtumi afiri wankasa wo so aba. Then the last but not the least has to do with the world system and culture. Edu baabi so a sɛnea wiase no ɛkɔ nhyehyɛ bi a ɛyɛ adwuma ɛwɔ ewiase ha na afei amammerɛ ne amanneɛ no bi wɔ hɔ a ɛyɛ ɛnaadaa ɛna ɛde ba. Na memfa ɛnsɔ so sɛ there are some common areas bi a deception play role pa. Number 1 megye di sɛ yɛ spend time wɔ hɔ paa ɛyɛ doctrinal deception. Obi a wɔ gyidie a ɔwɔ mu, gyidie na yɛwɔ mu no ɛduru baabi a ebi mu tumi ɛfa religion ɛsom so ɛde naadaa bi ɛbrɛyɛ. Nti yɛhwɛ Bible mu no, even the Bible told us sɛ ɔbɔfoɔ firi soro ba anaasɛ empo sɛ obi bɛkyerɛkyerɛ bibi fufuo bi a apart from the yɛnim dada na we should not believe it. Ɔse ɔbɔfoɔ mpo. So an angel of the Lord can come on earth and come with a message, but message ni si yɛhwɛ na sɛ ɛne nyame asɛm a yɛnim dada no ɛbɔ ɛbrɛ a we need to reject it. Then we also have moral deception. Yɛn nyinaa yɛnim ɛfa papa ne bɔne ho. Ɛduru baabi a na ayɛ te sɛ ɛnɛ no bɔne yɛdane no anaasɛ yɛpenti no ama no ayɛ kama. Sin is sin. So we need to stand well. Na yɛnhwɛ yie sɛ morally no we are not deceived. Then immediately the last one I'll talk about is self-deception na your boss. Nti yen yankasa no yebisa ye ho say ɛdeɛ bɛn na yadwen ɛkyerɛ ya ebia entisa. When your mind is trying to tell you something you are not sure about it, you must find the truth. The Bible says that you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. Nti adeɛ bi a wadwen yɛ ontanta wɔ ho ana wonim ho nokorɛ no hwehwɛ nokorɛ no efi sɛ ebia bɛhwehwɛ nokorɛ no bɛwie na wahu sɛ sɛ na de wadwen yɛ wɔ no self-deception no enti saa. Nti Chris emre nti no me de besi ha
meda CP coach say wa bo in last time a topic no tofa amai YouTube so far me nyanya obi a ho mesra mo yen share link no ye delay kakra de but mesra say be share link na yetimi abaso na yen yetimi asua bibi ya share send na ya share ase no nti mesra say along the line share the link for someone else come and also join Facebook so far Facebook okay Ericuna TBT now they are told the truth nothing but the truth the jar to home. I want to say Emmanuel Kofi 1.0 Emmanuel Kofi 1.0 so I join in. I want to numbers now communicate to her no or form chain numbers now I join but mestre say yeah joining na yamboa ma program na nkoso ye nyina yensua de mum ti yesua na also betimi de osua hunu bi aba na ye nyina yesua bi afim wo question bi so a how wo betimi de ato ho wo de to ho a ye be discuss na yetimi anya no kra wo mu no na ye nyina ya share and next so your topic be a ye ba be discuss na coach any dem so de ejaum say learn to be silent
okay
and listen.
Learn to be silent
and listen. I say ancient say betimi ayedi na yeti. I think that once I chanced upon teaching Biano Yechre say there's a difference between even teachers no it's something I do trainings on. Say if I be kasa you hear a lot of things, but decide what you want to listen to.
Okay.
You know, I mean, no kasa. Ebia no be kasa wechi. Those are me to mention how many no kasa. But I be decided as to what you want to listen to. Tebi a menote and make us out, but watching war, assembly will be cano war. Baby so. I know that this topic is going to be very powerful and we are ready for you, Coach. But no, my introduction. What do you mean by we should learn to listen, or we should learn to be silent and listen?
All right. Papa. Learn to be silent and listen. Learn to be silent and listen. Nyame bo nipa no. One of the things that unyame de ache nipa nyina communication. The ability to communicate. Surprisingly, no sebi omunfa ncheme. Omun pokra no a sebi omun tumi enkasa no. They have a way to communicate. Omu use what we call the sign language. Through the sign language, they are still able to communicate. Communication, and then say, me will be bia, me pese ote, and I say, na me pese, me wiesua, me hu say, ampa de me kan ye no, obisi a room, and I say in room. In this life, ye wo nyoma bi ohwa, ye ntumi nyanu mienu, ye no bako. Now, even in our coming to the world, you share issue of twins and tafwa. The day they are coming into the world, eyedanya baku di kan ba ansa na baku asan ya ba. Adenti no munyina mamom enye yie saa. Enu nti ne yewo kakra, panyin, senior, junior. Enti in the same way, when it comes to communication, there is the need to develop skills in communication. Enti sene ye ho yedi ye ho enkomo no ye wo kwan a ye fa so edi nkomo yie. And that is why we are talking about communication skills. Enti onipa bia wo de kasa ye adwuma no esese utumi sua communication skills. Now one of the major communication skills ehon ye na brofo ne kasa is very rare. Being able to be silent and listen. Now, Chris, say ya enkomo ne ti ha ye di o. But one who say brea wo kasa no na ma ye din.
Yeah.
I have learned to be silent because there is a time to be silent and there is a time to speak for somebody to also listen. Enuntino enama ye sua sade we eneno. So we cannot all speak at the same time. At a point, one must be silent in order to be able to listen. Na uhwe ye wiase a akwa say we don't have time to be silent and listen. Na ede asem kese pa ebre nipa bebre. Surprisingly, even in the Bible can be or say James chapter 1 verse 19 or say, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Onipa biya no pentem na tie. Enti bra mashia obi no, ade esese me pentem wo ho ne se esese me tie. Now how can I listen unless I become silent? Se manka mano antumu a mintimi entie. Enti se me pese me tie na me tie ni yi a enne na esese misua sene me kama no tum. Now, there's difference between hearing, because we realize that many people hear but few truly listen. Eno na wo chire mu say ye dawson oba bi na kasa bebre koso you choose which one. So you can be hearing all, but as to the one you are listening, there's a difference between hearing and listening. We are talking about listening. You can only listen effectively when you become silent. Inti wan ka wan wan tumu a untumi enti anase de ye ka no untumi enya ade no yie papa. Inti Bible say enipa bia no esese wo pentem say wo betie. Inti say wo pese wo tie de a, then the method or the principle is that you must be silent in order to listen. Inti eno ena yeba besua say yenka ya no entum na yentie. Ene wiase na ye wo no enoma bebre na ekoso. There are a lot of things that we need to know. You can never know unless someone speaks to you. And you can never also receive what somebody is speaking to you unless you listen. And you cannot listen effectively unless you become silent.
Wow. For Madam CP, Coach, Ejana Jinem. Mestre for say still na I'm say my numbers never form. Yen share link na amount for and for so intimate joining no muntiminti. Not yen na kambom na yentimi and share nyansa and yesu. Aside Minia Eric, I'm okay, me ba YouTuber Nancy a champion, or say truth be told. TBT the truth, nothing but the truth. So far, TikTok, Nyenya, Obibia, or make comments. Na me ba Facebook swa menya nipa bakwa kan Eric will say, Yusuf Yakubu, I like the discussion. I like the discussion team. So Yankoso, I like a discussion and Pacho menya selfish. Share no bizo embe love with the discussion. Eric share Enya Imano Kofi Buampon share. Eric said, say you can only listen effectively when silent. As we share the link, let's be silent and listen. TBT, the truth, nothing but the truth. Coach.
Yes, sir.
Why is it important for us to do what we are discussing, to listen?
Okay. The Edikaya made me a can say, with the debate form, we want to bring it down to our understanding. Now, Sawunu will be a share. The Enkoma ye di fan Sawunu will be a share. Na Enkomodie be air coso. Now, it is important to be silent and listen, because when you do that, it demonstrates respect.
It demonstrates
respect.
Okay.
Into one who say only panyi kasa. Na se panyi kasa na wo kasa bi o si kamanutum netie.
Yeah.
Because panyi kasa na so kasa, it doesn't show respect. So many people don't know that when somebody is trying to communicate something to you, you being silent to listen demonstrate respect to the person. A chira will say, "Udi ni die ema onipako anase wubu no." Enti yen edu ba bi say obi ka asem gigigi me chira madwen me bo madwen. Say a panya, the person sees it as a disrespect, because they all can. When you wadwen say, "Oh, kan wanu atum etie." You understand?
Yeah.
There is no way say ubeka say, me kasa, also kasa, nanzu tie me de no. Sa tie no yebeka say it's not an effective listening. We are talking about effective listening. Enunti no se o pese wutie tie na wutie no. If you want your listening to be effective, then be silent first. After that, you can listen, and the listening will become effective. Enti se panyi kasa ana obi kasa na so kasa at the same time. It means you don't respect the person. But the moment you are silent and you are looking eyeball to eyeball, listening to the person, ohuni say udi obuo amano. Now there is a scripture. Proverbs chapter 18, verse number 13. Or say, he who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. Onipa biya obi kasa. Na no kurensi na osusu ya no. Bible say sebi eyenkwasi asem. Sa na Bible no eka no. So it is a demonstration of respect when you become silent and listen when one is speaking. Into obi kasa, ehu hia say, yebeka yanu atum na fei yetumi etie. We are not talking about we hearing, we are talking about we listening. There's a difference between hearing and listening. In fact, when it talks about hearing, I had to say, otise bibi koso. But when it talks, you come to listening, you have details. Say ubi to me asamachirobi. What is what can be? But the next men come out with the 3 points. Who coming out with 2? It was not an effective listening. Ɛsɛ sɛ wotumi ka three ni nyinaa. Yɛnka se ka dito, but points ene there, you should be able to elaborate even the point. Na yɛhu sɛ, enti na teacher for kyerɛ adeɛ wie a na yɛbisa question ɛwɔ class. Akwala a obetumi ama ne nsa so akyerɛ mu sɛ sei ni sei no, yɛsɛ clap for him. Pa. It means that child did not hear, but the child listened. Enti bere o can be no teacher ni o person kwala no, you want them to be silent in class so that they can listen effectively whilst you are speaking. So it is a sign that they respect you. So it demonstrates respect.
Okay. Coach Medasipi, meetings, it means they bring a workshops near ya. As my dinty, you could hear.
Yes, buy and listen. I like so, that. You could hear, buy and listen.
But we are learning today, we shouldn't just be hearers, but we should be listeners.
Yeah. And
that is effective what? Listening. Because it's just from that we can be able to make meaning out of whatever is being communicated to us. In 34, Master said, and now you say, you can't be bitch now with you now we are a refrain winning the manager say, you are just a hearer. We are learning. Many Isaac Abbas was say, great conversations. I also share my Bible joining from also online. Measure seeing a book also share na yet in a joining. Said it's a very powerful topic near discussing. I think game panel have 4 topics near discuss what had me. Because here there are a lot of people who can't decipher between listening and hearing.
Yeah.
But it's something that we're discussing today freely. You free. Yansa far phone abe joining intimacy. Share far phone share my own episode joining na onya nyansan be because university wherever we go to and want to be able to get something that is being communicated. We are learning today say we can hear, yes, but if we want to be effective and get the content really well, then we have to listen. So, Coach, if you are talking about we being able to get the point, then it means when we also are silent and listen, will it improve our understanding? Can we make that as a point?
Okay. Somebody said absolutely correct.
Okay.
Now, whenever somebody is speaking, we are supposed to listen. We do not listen just to reply. And yes, will be can be binti. Okay, meeting no can say my can't be there be. And you need to asem. We listen in order to understand. Somebody is trying to communicate something to you. Obi can be achiro. Ade no o kan chiro o pesa wo te ase. So, in order to promote your understanding on it, you have to be silent and then listen. Because obi oha o kan se ma chire no a onto ne bo ase onye komu ntie enti ade no onte ase. Enu nti na teacher for mama class exercise. We call it class exercise. What chira ade na wie? O pese wo hu se o mate ase because whilst you were teaching, you are passing on an information. You told them to be silent, which they were silent. Now you ask them, are you listening? Say, yes, sir. Yes, madam. So if you have been silent and you have listened, then I want to know, how will I know? Do you understand? They say yes. Then I give you a classwork. Most people, encounter confusion. Encounter our ability not to be able to be productive as a result of our inability to be silent and listen. Because yanka ya no antuma ntia ye ntia de korona se. Because sa wokwa workshop okra na ye ko kire wade bi a ye pese wote ase so that ye free bibi TOT. Oba, you are a trainer. You come to train. So once you get the understanding, ade bia obeti ase no, you are able to reproduce it. Ade bia obeti ase no, ye kire wo bibia utumi be kire bi. But se wante ase a untumi me kire ananse untumi nya ade ni yi. And how can you understand effectively? You need to be silent and listen. So we are saying, say, it will promote your understanding. Send it biano. Adieno ubitumi ate ase. So most of the times, misunderstandings often come from poor listening.
Misunderstanding often comes from
poor
poor
listening.
listening. Wow.
Se utie adeɛ no na wantie ne yie a ɛde basabasa yɛba nti ɛne yɛ ne sei na me so menye sei yɛyɛ wie ɛbɛyɛ sei ɛsan sɛ deɛ mekaeɛ no it was on your side na poor listening nti no adeɛ no asɛ wate bi ase wante bi ase meanwhile ɛnyɛ sɛ bi a mankyerɛ adeɛ nso maka adeɛ no sɛ ne ɛteɛ but ɛgyina wo so in order to avoid misunderstanding we need to be able to be silent and listen so that we can have understanding, great understanding.
Wow. Coach says, it also creates understanding. But you also share link and many are one point. I also share link and come. I mean, share the link. Yeah, that's many are one point. Say me here, Eric, one share so far. One better and my register or hide giddy. To make sure will be a better and I me. I benefited from what we are discussing this evening. Coach.
Yes, sir.
So go baby no biti ho na why din no you say no wuti no boniti nkwa. Yes, so young kasa ya dwen say
sir.
Nyansani. Enti how can we also differentiate between go bi ha oni hweka. Okay. Enti na why din boniti nkwa say wuti na da we bi na no no. Maybe one say na. How can we distinguish between the two? Say, in fact, nipa na why din or then say sina bodge no bonity unko no. The person is getting something out of it. How can we know?
Okay. Maybe ka enyoma mienu.
Okay.
Let me talk about knowledge and wisdom.
Knowledge and
wisdom.
Okay.
Knowledge is the acquisition or gathering of information. When you gather information, when you have access to information, we say you are knowledgeable because information about something. Now, or the gathered fact or truth. Enti onipa ne wate anase info na wenya no utumi apply senior no, we call you a wise person. So when you become silent and you listen, you add up to your information. That is, your knowledge increases. Because okwa workshop na yakochire ubibia na wunim. De na wunim ansa na wo ko no ebia beka ho. So there is an addition of your knowledge or the information you have. Now, when it comes to application, because you say why you dina wati ade no ntino, you have had a great understanding. So you are able to apply it easily. And the application of knowledge is what we call wisdom. So it means say directly no be na Bible can say be Proverbs chapter 19 verse 20 or say listen to counsel and receive instruction that you may be wise in your latter days. So how can you be wise? Being wise in the latter part, or say listen to counsel. Inti tiafutu, you must have the ear to listen. Inti bra wo listen, it makes you wise. So being silent and listening leads to wisdom.
Being silent and listening leads to wisdom. Coach, men fan say me so my bar and workshop.
Okay.
And I meet tea.
Okay.
There are people who are, so should I say it's okay? I want to be able to know say, if that is what we are trying to arrive at.
Okay.
So be hobeti be at 4 points. Eti any about point eti ni 4 points. No what transit ni no ake boom. No we jaya samba we jaya to na fe in sem.
Yeah, boy.
Is that the wisdom we are?
It's part.
It's part of it.
Yes. Because sebiu obia onim nyansa no o man points na ontumi kekamu. And the ability to even combine the points that have come to come up with something tangible and something that is solution oriented, at least why are they? You understand? And unti na ye kaso say empentem nkasa ne mo pentem ti answer. Because it is after you have been silent and listened and who exactly what you want to say. Now, some now you speak with great understanding because the OT because so if you don't become silent and listen, you cannot speak. Because ebimu kasa but sebi omun kanyansa sem. But ye kasafa dia okasa okanyansa sem. Because being silent and listening leads to wisdom. It makes you wise.
Coach Brandon T. Says any other point to hold and Sanaya to accord the next with regards to why it is important.
We have to be silent and listen. Now there is a major challenge or something that some people believe, others do not believe in Christianity or in the kingdom. That is, does God speak?
Does God speak?
Yes. Inti yebisase na nyame kasa de a adenti na ebi mu de say nyame kasa omho ebi su say nyame enkasa. Now enye no ne kan de but the little I want to chip in and say nyame kasa. Adenti na nyame kasa because according to Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 Awurade Nyankopon ebo nipa te se ne seso. God created man in his own image after his likeness. Until now, se minim nyame kora na me pese me dwen se ne nyame ebi obetumi aya. When I look at God's image, I should be able to talk about God. Now se nyame bo me se ne seso, na se me meti he me tumi kasa de a, it should tell you that the one who created you as his image, he speaks. Adenti na nipa bibre enti nyame ne is because of communication skills here yesiano. When you become silent before God, then you can hear God. It's like prayer. Prayer is not, Ebimka said, prayer is communicating with God. How do we communicate? Communication is about speaking out or releasing and taking feedback. Into communication, be a feedback and mamuno and you're complete. So when you talk to God in prayer, you must be silent and listen to what God is also saying to you. You are hearing God. But most people, no, that
means the definition I'm fat.
Yes.
Because if the definition is communication, now acquire one way. It means
yes. A two-way affairs. So Bible can say be and you see a diverted there, but the Bible says that call upon me and I will answer. But when you say sufre me na meje wo so. Enti wo su afre nyame se me beje wo so a, you are not there to listen to God. Enti no ne papa mu kura no anytime you pray, ese unya be 1 minute 2 minutes be din now hese nyame be kan bibi a kire wa. So we are saying say being silent and listening no, it also helps in hearing God's voice. Into the upper aya try. In the book of 1 Kings chapter 19 verse number 12, Elijah a pese ote onyame. Bible say okojina baby. There was a great wind. No ohwese nyame be firi mu aba. God was not in it. There was fire. Obi say fire. Senka nyame fire ya. Nyame be firi mu abe kasa wom. Nyame ankasa wo janim. Then there was even an earthquake. Nyame be kasa, nyame ankasa. But there was a still small voice. A still small voice. Enumu ene nyame ekasaye. Eni bia obi beka se jo. Now, se wanye di anka onte.
Nyame so ade no yesa. Ijaba wankasa, wankasa. Strong way na
wankasa.
Na watya moye jo no na obeka.
Nti ho na nyame kire nipa de na ye discuss no.
Okay.
That learn to be silent and listen. Nti esisi yesua. It doesn't come automatically. Ese usua. Enunti ni yesua no.
Yesua. Okay.
Okay.
Eni ye ko eni baby sa ho asem. Ye nua bema George me wa share no say great discussion coach. Okay. Great discussion coach. So Eric enya share nti Eric.
Video wa bona bas.
Wa share gidi me kind of names of share but say na Facebook for na share pa YouTube for names say why okay. Good evening, coach. Can everyone be a good listener? Question I better know. Good evening, coach. Can everyone be a good listener?
Okay.
Be a bit my good listener.
Enti oni pa kon so me so mecha good evening. Na masuma bisa say can everyone learn? So what I'm trying to say is that what you don't know, you can learn. Okay. So if you realize you are not a good listener, you have to learn it.
If you realize you're not a good listener, you have to learn.
Okay. So you must learn a communication skill. You must learn to be silent and listen. Obi se me de asem no meti a me pese me so me kira ma adwen ene yesua ade. Obi kasa to bo ase yedin na tie de all kano. Mani wi ansa na wo bibia wo so waye. Na mum enye time wa onipa kro no kasa no e na wo so be kasa na kasa na yemienu. So now who is who and who is listening to who? So learn to be silent and listen. And until once you learn it, you practice, you can be a good listener.
So once you learn and you practice, you would be a good listener. And say, Eric, coach had answer, come on. Or question about media bar because I share link and I'm on the joining. A diabetes media share link near Boakye-Fosuhene, either on YouTube, Facebook, and I say TikTok, either on YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. And the name is Boakye-Fosuhene. Coach.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the dangers of talking too much? What are some of the dangers in
okay.
that?
In fact, let me clear this. We are not saying we shouldn't talk.
Oh yeah.
Aha. Bia ubi beka say de ne men kasa bi. Medi yen kasa. Na emum yesua say in communication, in trying to learn, you have to be silent and listen. She say honey point in a one. Now, obi o say naturally me I talk too much. Now there are dangers. When you want to be effective, now you'll be a kasa bebre. And that's kasa eboroso. So when we say we are talking too much, nesa wa kasa aboroso. Hanti kasa but en kasa moroso. You can talk, but don't talk too much.
You can talk, but don't talk too much.
Yes, okay. Everybody has his or her limit. Inti en kasa ntra. Eti se wa ko gina panyi anim. Wo ko gina panyi anim a, e se o kan wanotum. Enye ho na wo be chirechire nsemu abeye we. Inti na obisa say what are the dangers? Number 1, the first danger I say, you may say some things you will regret. Wo kasa bebre a, wani beba ho so no, na wakoka asem bi a, na ensese wo ka, anase ebi kura na, ensese wotumi ka kire panyin no a one ugina nanim no, na wakoka, na fi wanu ho. So that is why we don't have to talk too much. Talk, but don't talk too much. And asem bi a wo ka no sebi dwen ho ansa na waka. But say do time wa onipa e kasa bebre eti se pipe ya bie na eba saa ade na esone saa nti ye frɛ nkrofo bi loose mouths. Ye nkrofo bo ha nano na loose nti na bie. So when you talk too much, you may say things that you regret later. Ubetumi akansem bi na fe akire ne wanu hu say o kan sansem no. But you realize say asase we so hu ade e be firi wanum beba no. Asem e be firi wanu beba no. Se nya pie se pe, you can't take it back. Enunti na se ohene, when a king issues a command or releases any word, we say it becomes like a law because of the authority that backs the words of the king. Na Chris unim se onipa bia we operate as kings and queens. Nipa bia, because Bible say life and death lies in the power of the tongue. Owo ne nkwa e wo nipa techrema so. Techrema no e de na de ba kasa. Enti yenumu asem owo ne nkwa wom. Enti se wo kasa e kasa boro so a ensem na waka no se empo wo pa ache wo ho kra no a you have regretted. a dear the necessary kamikasa we dear mako overboard. So learn not to talk too much, but learn to be silent and listen. So if you want to talk, make sure you have been silent to listen and now you are talking. And no kasa say wow. But when you are talking too much, you regret certain things that you say later. And your own kasa and also application.
Application I start to
say you are being silent. Say on me kasa. Why you dina wuti? And untina me kasa we are. You are able to quote something from what I've said. It's because you are listening. Thumbs up.
That's a coach. You gift here. Jay say, yes, you have every right to learn and listen. Or why in your question no? I say yes, you have every right to learn and listen. I'm saying I want to TikTok for be a can in your gift here. I say the Bible also tells us to learn to listen more. The Bible also tells us to learn to listen more. In the honor my own say Bible crack and say, yeah, say bedding, ye be she be tea be brave than say because I'm say coach, I can't want some cry. And also to it's good to learn what you don't know. It is good to learn what you don't know. It is good to learn what you don't know. So any gift here, Jay, I mention up now I'm let talk for set me comment to be everywhere. I said yeah nanka I want no more but any day gift here team when him gift I mention up. Right, coach. You won't say it need the regret, but what else can you do? Talk too much.
The second thing is that it closed the door to learning.
It closes the door to learning.
Yes.
Hey, am I in here?
One who say me kasa na se wanye dienti na yemfa ne say o kasa bibrea se me pese me chire wo bibia. It has closed that door.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah,
At first happen say you can't learn because already you are speaking. Now o kasa bebre no me pese me kan bibi just nya ne me kan na wuti. Won say was say obi si nya ne wo kan no na metie. Wato na adwen mu. So it means that ade ananka me wa anka metumi a kire wa mo asua no. It has closed that door because you're already speaking. Then number 3, when you talk too much, you miss important details. You miss important details.
When you talk too much,
you miss important details.
Wow.
Now, Chris, there are details of it. Inti chera there. Enuntina say facilitate workshop. What do you do? Start out say at the end of this lesson, you should be able to know this. You should be able to inti de nyina listening nyina gu ho. Chire we are then you come back to assess. Inti no ne de be assess say ampa say safui omutumi eye ne sa ana. Now, ye wie no a de obetumi actually ye new details in ade no ye betumi aka say the person was silent and really listened to you because wokura na be onwa asem on pakro no ebetumi be a point be already here near elaboration of the man is almost the same as what you also gave into bon say now we teacher now or facilitator no you are so happy because only pakro no etumi amount details of what you gave them. And he said if you don't want to miss details of certain things, especially the then you have to be silent and listen. You don't have to be talking too much. Your listening ability is shut. Your talking ability has been activated. Meanwhile, you have to excuse. So that is the next one. The last one I made also say. You also create unnecessary conflict because words spoken in haste can wound deeply. When we say it is one to boss na I say It is a ubufua. Now wakasa. Ubetumi aka nsɛm bi na afei waka nsɛm bi ama na ha obi. Asɛm no so no o family bi wa enye yi. So we are saying say at any point in time, let's be cautious. Talk, but don't talk too much. Talk, but don't talk too much. Learn to be silent and listen.
Learn to be silent and listen. The last one I say, you might be wounding someone.
Yes.
What's up now? Can it be an alcohol? How be in a way? In your best stress, let's learn to at least be silent and listen. Not all the time. No say. Also, and sometimes learn to just keep mute and listen. Then you pick nuggets of wisdom from whoever is talking to you. In that way, we are learning the wisdom that we're learning today. That is, you are being wise. Because from the initial scripture that we read, yes, oh yes, you are what? You are wise. You should be slow to speak, but quick to what? To listen. And slow to anger as well. So please, that's what we are learning today. Say, we can be called wise. If not, say,
I also say na wan kwaka bibi o.
About Facebook, silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. In the silence of the heart, God speaks. In the silence of the heart, God speaks. Any duty of loss. Nyame unsure opi. Yeah, cause na message say today be anim say dey ameba be kama me nkoso nkanso so. Obetia be so yasene ye hia emo opi say dey be koso aba wa kwan mu nyame adoma Tuesday bia in say opeso be so yasene message say obe contact you on the number 0244 616963 0244 616963. Now obeso yasene yes dwumade bia wodi no ye obeso yasene e be advertise o dwumade na say ka say ya na ye de wo so ni dwa wodi ne de fam say dey be amanfo de native for so beti ne be patronize o say dey yin na yes spread na now so ye den wo spread this kama na it is good to support a worthy cause. Intimate say ye nam kwan paso a ye nyansen wo so de o sika na wo so ya sene a ebema nyansa na konkan na so dwumade so ye de ekoso kama intimate say wherever you are, distance is not a barrier. Say the tiheya among 40 if I broach any baby any day. It means bit am our global. Intimate say so international. Link up with us on 0244 616963. It didn't was here Kofi Boakye-Fosuhene na also yasina yes ye be o me hu adwumadia wodia yes ye no be di dwuma kama na ye ba bia ye be ka udwuma odi ho asem opese oni coach so e book appointment and so akonya wo ho obetimi no sometimes niema ye kan e bia onim say wohia bibi wom I also usua and so no yen so kwan you need time be bre wo ha but obetimi afre coach was 020 845 8825 right
020
843 8825 020 843 8825 020 843 8825 number waiting me contact the coach na one no it me book an appointment said there be any aspect of or career or ministry Jumede bia anything he's a coach in for a whole package and not yes and say open say one coach enya sankita hodie na if you want to have a one-on-one discussion with coach na kwan mu ye bia to ho betimi contacting on 020 843 8825 na one no etime de kita ho we ya be ma time betimi na share then you have a very fruitful discussion say the be also benefit from coach say nyame de nadom ye awie mre mu a obo nipa bebre ewo ministry career marriage any aspect anything you can think of we here football bi wo sa area na contact coach a obetimi aboa e wo sa ekwan no so na wo so wetimi enya bibi efrim
Grace we dem ame enka bibi kakramfa de wo kan ho. Sometimes we ask ourselves, say program be say no, do we really need sponsorship? One say sisi yeti hay the opeso hwe bia hwe you. Baby wo bia o te enka clear into we bisa say na dia bia bio na muhia ma obi se mo biare hat polish abetra na mo money edin sawoso but ye free bibi behind the scene and pempi behind the scene empanyfo kra say ofuru dua pa ene ye den ye pian enti nyawo na wo pian ho ofuru dua pa no ye pian enu nti dwumadie bi sei ye hia se obe pia ye na dwumadie no atumi akoso. We need to buy data program ya ye de nti a wutumi nya wo ba bia wo se wo abruchi se wo Ghana wo hifan de nti a wunya ne se we are online and say ni se bio ye the data and look at the number of hours you spend barely 2 hours also me twe ye ahwefo adwen asi nyoma ba ko mienu bi so in the area of even data kora no we need support there. Number 2, service bio ye ne ye wadwuma for sisi ye wa hakra ne ye 4. 2 can be seen, 2 cannot be seen. Nti 2 na ye hu omo no mo so wa ha. Omo na eboa echinchim afidie no ma etumi eba. Ye nyina ye ho se be ye nte ba bia ye studio yi we need to take car, some have to drive, buy fuel. Sa no money nyina eka ho. But one say ye ba no se be Chris one fa car man to be nka say wo hia fuel. But we know that we will need some of these things. Inti mesre say basa yes ye call for sponsorship me so money how because there is the need for you to push us. Ye furu diapa enunti no aya pian ye.
Coach medasipi inti said ye sua bedri mpatho social link no ye wo last 20 minutes mu na ye de dwumade ne ba wie ye inti mesre say what question be and answer what point be also beti me de abeto kama na before me ba my next question so no ye nua gift here J or say I'm listening to my bro live from Hemel Hampstead. Wow, coach.
UK no
UK for no international global
nation
and I'm global anti gift any ebe mo so sponsor ya so betimi yes you come bia ebe link wo US ne bia nti mo nyina masias na bibia anko kama coach and I want us to make it practical.
Okay,
so how practical is what we are learning today? I mean, we see how practical lessons and ways we can apply being silent and listening.
All right. Onipa bia no se oti bibia onipa bia no based on how you receive it, in fact based on how you listen and determine how you react.
Okay.
Now reaction is very key, especially in the area of relationship.
Okay.
Yakasi relationship anya ni nyina na me boy ni me girl ni asemo meti hayi no I'm related to you. Yes, we relate in a way. I relate with some of the people who are watching us now. And in every relationship, there is communication. Now, in the communication, there must be response or reaction. Now, because we don't become silent and listen effectively, Emma, when it comes to relationship, in the area of even marriage, yenya kwan entie, but we just quickly react. Into obi ohwa sabiu oye menka ne se bia ne ho ofe. Nanso ko relationship mu a na ye basa. Obehwe no abufuo no wosoro because always all react. Onya botre entie nsem a eba na ansa na wa react. So husbands must learn to be silent and listen to their wives when they are speaking, which awarefo bebree yedi ho fo, emema bebree yedi ho fo. Saa nso so na we oba so a, you must say naturally no, you say a ma kasa more than a mema. It has been proven scientifically, especially in relationship. Enti na oba bibia ni a no kasa bebree sana wo motie. Now oba so no aya yedin na tie bere a wo partner no eso kasa, so that you don't overreact or you don't react wrongly. Then in the area of friends, wona wadamfo bi ye bibia sua se wo be ye din na watie de ono so ka na adenti na wo no onipa kro no kasa no wo kasa no o ye din tie o adenti na ono de kasa de unye din na wontie. And parents, let me say this, we must also be silent and listen to our children. Aya adwen ye se na oyi de so ya akwala kawa no tum please enye sa edru ba bia unim akwala bi betumi aka bibi a kyerɛw ebia bibi ha no ebia obi aka nsɛm bi a ɔnte ase ɔyɛ so obi na no aka no tum wo de na unim hey kokokokoko na kyerɛ sɛ wa hyate akwala no ne ɔwɔ ka ana sɛ de nka ɔpɛ ɛho ente ase no wa hyate ne nti ontumi voice out. So in the practically in the area of relationship, let's try to be silent and listen before we react. Then in leadership, Mr. Adia baako a higher pa wo ye wiase titiriu abibiman mu titiriu Ghana. Yempanyifo bebre ho a they don't become silent and listen. Obo ha wabɔ n'adwen pɔ sɛ ye de yesi we policy we ya. Even before you implement a policy, you need to call for stakeholders meeting. Not those involved, no. Utie omo. Would I remember one key example? Ohwe Ghana ha, ukoko communities bebria. Obekɔ ni yesi market. Community market wo baby. But community no, those then almost say omu nyusu. Yes, adentia is because there was not a proper dialogue. They did not go down to the people to take feedback from them. In leadership, every true leader, every good leader, every effective leader must have listening ear. You have to listen. Until when you in charge, adwuma mu na aye boss no, una frame meeting, but we frame meeting aya yedin na omo so omo nkasa, na wo so tie bi. But in leadership, ene onipa nya position a obeso no nko ade but as I always say, wisdom is not found in only one person. Enye nipa ba kope na nyansa ewo ni tirimo edru ba bi a akwala akora betumi aka nsem bi a nyansa sem bi a ebeboa wo. So in the area of leadership, we have to be silent and listen. Anyesa wuntumi enye effective as a leader. Now, even in our spiritual life, when God is speaking, we can listen to what God is saying. It is when you wait. Bible say, those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Abra wo twen awurade anim no, ye wonuma bi nyame boa e de mawa eboa wo. Enti memfa ne se walusu hope wo bibi mu na se watwen nyame ne nyame akasa ho se meba meka ho ensuro koso ana ko wani mu a emma wani da so. You regain the lost hope. But everybody, you have to be silent and listen. Afei, the etwato baako a megidis ehu hia pa in the area of conflict resolution. In fact, megidis one day we have to come and discuss this conflict resolution. And tokwa wo ba bia empanyi kura se empo esene techrema kura mpo no edu ba bi omtumi eko. There are conflicts everywhere. Conflicts in families, in communities, conflict at our workplaces, conflict even in our own lives. Personally, you sense there's a struggle be going on in your life. Now, every conflict must be resolved. whenever there is a conflict, that conflict must be resolved. Into we nipa na wo de sebio se basabasa ye biba anase mente me ho ase biba na o makwan se yen solve ya na kire se sebe you are not being human. I need to be honest. Whenever there is a conflict, there must be resolution. In a friend, conflict resolution. Now, in the area of conflict resolution, Sisia mene Chris enya sem me wa me point to me wa me point. Chris also wa point. I don't have to think say you don't have any point. Ubo I say oh there na wo uni sheka me na mo bibi kan enya no kore. Ade na mo ko ho no sebe onipa ko na dwen ye no bibi nti ne points no me so me wa me point. Now how can we resolve this? Just say Chris uye din na utie say even third person aba na solve ya obisa aha wo aha eyeden di kan kasa nti brea Chris wo kasa ese me ye din na metie nti won so bo ha ye resolve conflict we can then the person who is a mediator no will have to shut one down me pacho wo ye din say ono na kasa. So in conflict resolution, you know, there must be silent and listening.
Coach,
yes, sir.
The points now from relationship,
leadership,
anyway, spiritual life, one thing I'm looking at is, yeah, we must all him say, Oma, why now, Tina, what convince him? When phone boy say, data I'm waiting 3 years, Oma, why now, convince, be at the Okan. If I been a loop will be a huntino. And then me by my some grammy mancasa, young Congo, or can I say me and I say, where we
and Sebi, does it show wisdom?
No.
Wisdom is not found in age. Sebi, and yet the 1 year check, and I cast away Yansa for there be Nyansa Hui, Yamene Dema, and Okrebati Siaso. You can learn to be wise. Now have the book of Proverbs a chere kwan hodo bebere so a ye fa ye nyansafo emu ba ko ne yesuan se utumi ye din na wuti a wodane nyansafo enti Chris enye bibia na bia ese ye hwesoro nneoma no bi wo ha ese ye hwefom na yesua nneoma bi se ne be ya ebeboaye ewo our day to day activities.
Coach,
yes sir.
Ebrenin no mema why ye quick e wo ha mame. How do we develop what you're talking about, the discipline of listening? How do we develop the listening ability? Because yes, who say we shouldn't talk too much, should learn to listen. How can we develop it? So quickly, how can we develop this kind of attitude?
Okay, yataika brofi will see, oh, we did not any intentional. Let's just say one said that. So the first point and it say be intentional. Ye what dream say, ene masua learn to be silent and listen. So intentionally, no, I am making a decision to listen more than speaking. Into a personal decision, and it has to be decided intentionally. And more being for so. Because say for so say we say na for so na no entumi effective, but you have to be intentional first. Ade bi a wan kasa no when to me and convincing wo and decide on your own, it becomes very difficult. And na we nipa ade ba ko e kire say you are maturing is your ability to decide for yourself. So decide intentionally. Number 2, you have to practice active listening. You have to practice it. Enti yemfa say metumi aka chemu say me ne Chris ekudi nkomo we de me a me hye me ho so na matie. So intentionally you give attention. Enti wo kasa nyina bibi kura ba ma no say me se menka. I am practicing active listening. Then number 3, you have to control impulse to interrupt. Enti say ne me kan sisi say bia what can say be me gidi sentisa bibi ya me se me respond me interrupt, but I try to control it. Inti se neti bia memo wa wie de wo ka no because say my din amatie wunti no ebe mama te ne wa kana se bi kura no a nanka interruption nanka me de ba no wo be kan wie no na wa ma me answer empo na che say bi ase nka me yes hwere di kan but ankoyesa. Then you must also ask questions. You show genuine interest in understanding by asking questions. Inti asem na woka no, inti ayeme de say the yesu ebi mo online omo bisa questions.
Yeah.
It's very important. A way to develop listening by asking questions, because one said that one do be car. How can you even generate the question? Because questions are generated. Because me obi kasa okay, what can we maybe say, so you generate it. But just a tie answer what you mean I generate it. Now the last one, and it say nyame ne boy nyina, you have to train your heart to listen to God. Onipa bia se wo pese uhu se ampa nyame kasa, you have to train yourself to be able to listen to God. Enti in conclusion, what we are saying is that we have to learn to keep quiet and listen. Na abra wa ye din a wutie no, it's not, don't see it as a sign of weakness. Obi say I make kasa no ye din o tie me. The person is even being wiser than you. And don't see it say wo ye din na utie obi bra o kasa e kire say we mre entia me pacho entisa. It rather shows strength and wisdom. E kire say sebi wo ahoden na fe e sign so kire say wo nipa no sebi wo nim nyansa pa. So talking may make you appear knowledgeable, but listening makes you truly wise. Inti bra ebia sebi you wo kasa bebre no enipa be kasa you are knowledgeable, but we are moving ahead or higher than knowledge. We want to be wise. Inti eno mumu no bra wa yedin awutie no, it makes you wise more than just being knowledgeable. Inti ene the Yesuan say learn to be silent and listen. Inti suan inti say na wonim ya ene yesua inti won susua and apply it.
Learn to apply what we discussed this evening by being quiet or being silent and listening. It will make you wise. Inia Eric say, Coach, God bless you for the free tuition you offer every week. Eric, yes, I'm asking free tuition. Inia by gift J also say, my greetings to all Go City family members. Yes, also. Yeah, also kama. Inti say yes, say we should learn to be silent and listen. We should learn to be silent and listen. And I think from the onset, like I said, it's not just listen, but effective listening demands that you have to be quiet or keep silent and you listen. That
so
is
don't hear, but listen.
Yes. And we also learn there's a difference between hearing and listening. Hearing and listening. Most of us think if you are hearing, it means you are listening. But being able to know, you can hear a lot of noise, a lot of sounds. But I think one thing I am training, make sure we a lot of sounds. But the one you make meaning to is what you are listening to. And aside from the rest of the voices or sounds become noise to you.
Yes. Very
the rest of the sounds become noise to you. It's supposed to be TV. What you are saying, it might be wisdom to someone who is listening. But to you who is watching a different event, it will be noise to you. So we are learning today, if you want to be wise, learn to be silent at times and listen. It will help you. Because I show on crying, so by joining now, what's in your best way 0244 616963 and I'll be to me so a day I best way as an episode send a donation beer. My young Jumedia Woody so also as and would also on every Tuesday come up to also advertise whatever you do. What's on the coach so Asia and I'll book your appointments at 020 843 8825 020 843 8825 843 8825 any number waiting me contacting also between WhatsApp and everything book appointments now when you know at me share on any area of your life you can have a discussion and he would give you a line to toe which you won't regret. TBT, the truth, nothing but the truth. TBT, the truth, nothing but the truth. So at this point, I'll say see you next week. Bye-bye.